I want to have a quick conversation with you about legal operations. What is it? Why you need it? And how you can use it to your advantage. So here are the basics I want you to really pay attention to. Basically, let's first define the term legal operations, also called legal ops. So legal operations is an umbrella term for all the activities and processes that support and empower a company's in-house legal team. So you don't talk about legal operations for a law firm. You're talking about legal operations for a regular company, right? So for many businesses, the legal department no longer consists of a general counsel overseeing all the company's legal affairs. Now there is an accelerating trend of legal operations teams taking charge of the many key functions surrounding the company's legal concerns. So the bottom line here is what? Bottom line is to transform legal ops into a cost center, from a cost center into a profit center. So think about a combination of business activities, processes, and professionals that basically enable in-house legal department to serve their companies more effectively and efficiently. And so legal ops encompasses a variety of activities and initiatives that do not require a license to practice law, such as strategic planning, project management, financial management, and technology implementation and management. So the wide area of covered activities means that legal ops also cover many disciplines, including finance. So we're speaking about the analysis of cash inflows and cash outflows, analytics, marketing, and digital technology. So why is legal operations important? Well, if you really think about it, I think I've said this before. The whole goal here is to turn a function into a profit center from a cost center. So the ultimate goal of legal operations is to maximize the bottom line positive impact of the company's legal department. Not only does legal ops seek to free up in-house attorneys to focus on legal work, it also allows for data-driven strategy and financial planning for the legal team as a whole. So legal operations have become especially important over the last couple of decades due to the faster pace of business and increasing legal costs for companies. And so since many companies are now very data conscious and data driven, in-house legal teams are under pressure to do the same. In addition, legal ops teams, they take over duties that attorneys are not naturally inclined to handle, such as technology implementation and data analytics. They are nonetheless vital for success in the modern business world. I mean, you do not want somebody who has a law degree to actually focus on technology. It's not his thing. It's not her thing, right? Let me give you a little bit of information about the chronology here. So let's talk about the evolution of legal operations. So as long as there have been in-house legal teams, there has been a need for the tasks and responsibilities fulfilled by legal operations. I want you to really think of it as the CFO office on the financial side, right? So legal operations is basically the general counsel's office. The same way the CFO office takes care of the financial functions in a company. However, one thing we have seen in our research is that legal operations has only been recognized as a discrete function since the early 2010s. To understand why, we got to really take a look at the history of in-house legal teams within three generally recognized historical periods: pre-1990, 1990 to the mid-2000, and from the mid-2000 to the present day. So pre-1990, before 1990, most legal teams dealt with fewer complex legal issues, and so back then, they were mainly focusing on risk management and managing outside counsel, like having a great relationship with outside attorneys. While legal teams will try to reduce outside legal costs, there was less cost pressure than today. So that was before 1990 and the advent of the internet. From 1990 to the mid-2000, we're speaking about 15 years, companies in this era had to deal with legal issues of increasing complexity, often due to regulatory and international issues. So this resulted in even heavier use of outside counsel and an increasing emphasis on cost control. Hence, the whole idea of making sure that legal ops becomes a profit center as opposed to being a cost center. Now, from the mid-2000s to today, beginning in the mid-2000s, we actually experienced a sea of change in legal operations that led to a focus on legal ops as a discrete function within the company. With the use of newer technology and automation capabilities, companies could now break down cost and return on investment ROI in more detail than ever before. So the granularity was there, the breadth and depth of analysis. So this led to the formation of legal ops teams that could use strategic insights to manage outside counsel and increase the efficiency of the in-house legal team. And that's just fantastic. I want to go a little granular in terms of the key functions you can see within legal ops. So when you think about legal ops, you have a trifecta, what we call trifecta. So you have business intelligence, you have financial management, and you have firm and vendor management. Now there could be other initiatives that happen, but those three are very important. Those three elements are very important. So when I talk about business intelligence is actually the use of technology to analyze business data and provide actionable insights for company leaders. So legal ops provides this function for legal teams, allowing legal to spot trends and patterns in the same way other company departments do. I was talking to a little earlier about the CFO office or even the CMO office in terms of marketing or the CTO office in terms of technology. They all do this sort of a preliminary analysis, this sort of a qualitative analysis, and also quantitative analysis. And when you think about qualitative and quantitative, these two combined together are producing a sort of benchmarking intelligence that legal ops can really pass on to the legal department senior management, and that's really fantastic. So business intelligence, number one, and then you have financial management. So legal ops can manage the budget for the legal department, often working with the company's finance department, the CFO office. So similar to law firm financial management, this generally includes tracking of accruals, forecasting, identifying spending patterns, and finding cost-saving opportunities. And then you have also the third element in this trifecta. You have firm and vendor management. So this function indicates that basically you are being proactive here, and the function includes the selection of outside counsel and other vendors, negotiating contracts and rates, and onboarding new vendors quickly when needed. So instead of relying on personal relationships, and this is who we use in mentality for managing outside counsel, legal ops can provide a data-driven approach, and that helps a lot in terms of transforming the function into a profit center, and you got to have that. So those three are important, but when we talk about the key functions of a legal operation team, you have actually a lot of functions. So the business intelligence, financial management, firm and vendor management are important, but we have seen actually in our research that 12 elements. I mean, the other 9 are kind of important too, even though the top 3 are just those that I gave you. But I want to share with you a little bit of I want to shed some light on the other 9, so you have a clear idea what I'm talking about. And so, of course, those functions are not insular. They're also sort of quintessential. You have information governance, you have knowledge management, and you have organization, optimization, and health. Those are the next 3 ones. So when we talk about information governance, so by implementing guidelines for sharing and retaining information, legal ops can reduce risk to the company. And this includes managing access and security for all confidential and or restricted information, and communicating all policies to employees in the legal department. You also have knowledge management. So the legal department needs to be able to collect and preserve expertise in a way that is accessible to the entire legal team, and very often the entire company, because legal team is actually the legal department actually quintessentially is sort of a knowledge repository. And so in terms of disseminating knowledge, this might involve creating knowledge hubs and templates to ensure consistent responses on commonly encountered topics. And knowledge management is especially important as companies scale in size and deal with the inevitable personnel departure and shifted roles. You also have organization optimization and health. And so many in-house legal teams are assembled without a clear overall vision, focusing on short-term hiring needs and neglecting the career development of legal professionals. So legal ops actually can remedy these shortcomings by designing an optimal hiring process, incentivizing in-house attorneys, and investing in their professional growth. I mean, if you want to retain top attorneys, you got to have a clear idea about what their professional roadmap really is or should be. Let me talk to you about practice operations, project management or program management, and also service delivery models. So those are again key functions within the legal operations team. So when we talk about practice operations, legal teams can get bogged down when in-house attorneys have to spread themselves thin by working on low-value tasks. So legal ops can create specialized teams that are well-trained in specific areas that require a high volume of repetitive work, such as electronic discovery or contract management. And when you think about it, this frees up attorneys to focus on high-value activities. And you got to have that, because otherwise your value added to the firm's bottom line overall is really low. So you also have project and program management. Often a business needs to implement company-wide initiatives or projects, or the legal team will need to do the same on a department-wide basis. And the legal operations team can take care of this project and program management, allowing in-house attorneys to focus on legal work instead, right? And so that's important. Again, going back to what I said a little earlier in terms of the bottom line here. You also have service delivery models. So instead of sending all legal work to a default law firm or, let's say, legal vendor, legal ops can create and maintain an ecosystem of vendors. As a result, each component of a company's legal work can be routed to the best suited firm or vendors, allowing for a higher efficiency and lower overall cost. And that's going to help you. That's going to help the firm actually add a lot of positive value to the bottom line, to the company's bottom line. And this is actually an important element to think about, especially if you are building a multi-geography legal ops team. Because nowadays, especially in a post-COVID era, you have a lot of legal ops staff members working from different geographies. They're not all in the same office. So if you don't have this sort of decentralized approach to managing the team, you are going to lose money. And this is why service delivery models are quite essential. You also have to think about strategic planning, technology, and training and development. So again, those three more added to they actually close the list of the key functions of a legal operations team. So when we talk about strategy planning, we're thinking about having a proactive approach, right? Strategic planning, not strategy planning. Strategic planning. So long-term strategic planning is kind of critical for in-house legal departments, and legal ops can provide this planning while ensuring that the legal team is in alignment with company-wide priorities and the needs of business stakeholders. Remember, the legal counsel office, the legal department has to be aligned with the CMO office, with the CFO office, with the CTO office, with other offices, right? And at that top level, where strategy is actually determined within the company, the last thing you want is to have a legal team, a legal department that is not aligned with the key fundamentals that the firm is pursuing. So strategic planning is quite essential. You have technology. So instead of relying on time-consuming manual processes, legal teams can use technology to automate processes and digitize tasks. Legal ops can create a technology roadmap for the legal department while essentially implementing time-saving tech solutions such as electronic billing, for instance. You have contract management, you have legal project management software. So the whole idea here is to actually create a holistic approach for managing company-wide tasks, not just within the legal department, but also company-wide. You also got to think about training and development. So this function involves onboarding new hires for the legal department, as well as providing ongoing training and skill building for members of the team. And instead of relying on HR or an overburdened general counsel, sorry about this. Instead of relying on an overburdened general counsel, legal ops can take over this vital role. And this is kind of cool because you are streamlining the HR and capital management function within the legal team. So before I close to this conversation about legal operations, I want to give you a few pro tips. There are things you can do to actually build a strong legal operations team. And you got to first understand one thing, though. You got to first understand your company and the legal department. So at the smallest level, some companies may simply need a single legal operations manager to complement the work of their general counsel. And larger companies with more complex legal requirements and thus larger legal departments might require dozens of legal ops employees to handle all the diverse functions that I just listed for you, the 12. So as for the required training and skill set, you want to make sure that you don't limit yourself to employees with law degrees, because legal operations professionals come from many backgrounds. While some are former attorneys or other legal professionals, many others have experience in technology, financial management, or consulting. So one thing for sure, you want to be sure to empower your team, no matter how large or small, with the right legal operations technology. So when a legal ops team is first established, some core functions tend to be areas such as legal billing, contracts management, and vendor management. And none of those areas can be handled effectively without the appropriate technology for reporting, analytics, and automation. Now, when we talk about reporting, analytics, and automation, we are directly or indirectly speaking about what? Benchmarking. Because you're constantly sort of analyzing the performance of your team versus the next team, the team next door. Okay. And there are actually, this also means that when we talk about benchmarking, we are speaking about having a clear idea about the many career opportunities in legal operations. So when you talk about legal operations, you can have a legal, you can be, or you can have a legal operations manager. You can have legal operations specialist. You can also have legal operations analyst, and that really helps a lot. And so there are also some benefits of embracing legal operations in general, so that you are able to actually free up more time for in-house attorneys. Okay. And this actually goes through, this process goes through employing data-driven analytics, so you can actually demonstrate the tangible value of the legal team to the company. In addition, legal ops teams can actually build strategic partnerships with other company departments such as finance, HR, and IT. So by automating actually processes and allocating resources effectively, legal operations can free in-house attorneys from mundane, repetitive tasks that take time away from higher value legal work. Onboarding, training, and career development, often left by the wayside in traditional legal departments, can now be focused on front and center by a dedicated team. And hiring and management of outside counsel and other legal vendors will also improve with legal operations in place. So what's the bottom line here? In today's conversation, I spoke to you about legal operations. So I give you the basics. I explain what legal operations really is. I give you the chronology, the timing. I give you the key functions. And now I give you the pro tips. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.